Shall we start? I think we need to start now.
Yes.
Already
Yes.
2:30. Right.
Right.
Okay, welcome everybody to this webinar. I am Teo, person in charge of this webinar. Okay, together with us is Associate Professor Dr. Noor Hanim Rahmat, who is going to share about her expertise on action research. And this webinar is organized by Faculty of Education. It is conducted through Google Meet and also link to FP, Faculty of Education, UiTM. Thus, we have two platforms running on. Participants in Google Meet can put in any questions in chat box while the talk is running. For FB live participants also can put in sharing or question. So later after the talk, I will read the question. The link to feedback and attendance will be provided at the end of this session in Google Meet as well as FB Live. So together with us, actually our Dean of Faculty of Education couldn't make it, couldn't attend, but we have here Deputy Dean, Dr. Muhammad Khairizan. Dr. Kai, are you here? And
yes,
also
I'm here, Prof.
Our KPP coordinators, lecturers, and students from Faculty of Education in in Google Meet, and participants in FB Live. So here, let me introduce our speaker. Together with us, Associate Professor Dr. Noor Hanim Rahmat is currently a lecturer at APB, Academic Pengajian Bahasa, UiTM in Shah Alam. Okay, she has her PhD in education, TESA from UKM. She has double masters, so special, double masters. Masters in education from and master in sports science. She is also sports science person from University of New South Wales, Australia. Her bachelor degree is in education, TESA from UPM. Associate Professor Dr. Noor Hanim Rahmat has produced 83 undergraduate and postgraduate students, and she won several awards from her 13 innovative products. She is active in publication. She has published 3 books and 6 chapters in book, 64 journal papers, and 40 conference papers. She had completed 69 research studies with 4 grants. She had delivered 7 keynote speech in international and national conferences. Among the topic is innovation in education, identifying fear in language learning, language classroom environment for Gen X, Y, and Z, and the psychology of language learning, educational psychology, a tool for language research, as well as challenges and issues in research writing. So without any delay, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Noor Hanim to share about her expertise on action research, specifically focusing on research and innovation in classroom.
Okay.
Dr. Hanim, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, especially to the TDPJI, Dr. Khairizan, all right, and all members of the faculty, many friends there, all right. So, hi everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you, all right, action research, my favorite topic. I'm going to focus specifically on research and innovation in the classroom, something that I love doing. All right, some motivation before we move on. I like to give some motivation pictures there. Many people say, alamak, I cannot write. I don't have the mood to write. I don't have the inspiration to write. No mood yet lah. Now, if you wait for inspiration to write, you are not a writer. You cannot wait for inspiration. Then you're a waiter. You just have to write lah. Okay? And another one of my favorite quote is, you either write something worth reading or you do something worth writing. All right? Or talking. All right. Fortunately ke unfortunately for all of us in UiTM, and I am sure the other public universities have maybe higher KPI than this. But for UiTM, this is what we are faced with 2021. In case you forget, I purposely have this one special slide to remind you of. All right. I'm sorry if I tercakap laju. Many of you who knows me knows that I speak fast. So I hope if I remember, I will slow down. All right. But I think you're okay with my speed. All right. Okay. Let me remind you. All right. By the end of the year, tapi tak boleh lah end of the year kan, by September or maybe by November, you all, for those new lecturers, DM45, you must have at least one index journal and 2 other publications. All right. And for DM52, 51, 52, you must have at least 1 index journal and 2 other publications. For DM53 and 54, all right, all the PMs, you have to have at least 3 index journal and 1 other publication. And VK7, Prof, all the professors, you have to have at least 4 index journal and 1 other publication. All right, next one. I've given this talk before, all right, lecturers quadrant, all right. I got this idea when I listened to our VC, I think last year, all right, then I came out with this 4 quadrant actually. An ideal lecturer should concentrate on all 4 quadrants. Let's check whether you ask yourself whether you have all these 4. All right, quadrant number 1 is teaching. Many of you are good at this, okay? Okay, expert at this already. All right, 2, then go across it, Number 2, all right, number 2, go across it is innovation. All right, actually in innovation, many of you say, alamak, no, I'm not creative. I don't have any innovation in the classroom. But actually, no. I think many of us, we do not realize that, you know, when we teach in the classroom, especially if you have taught for many years, there will be something that you have done that not many people have done. You might not have realized it. It's your favorite technique. It could be something new. All right. So teaching is related to innovation. And then number 3, do you have number 3? I know you have number 1. I know many of you have number 2. Do you have number 3? Number 3 is research and publication. All right. You can do research. What's my joke? My joke is you can do research. No. You have to do when you do research, you have to have publication. But you need not have research. You need not have a grant. When you have a grant, you need to have publication. But you need not have grants to have publication. So research and publication come together. All right. And the last one, this is the latest one. All right. I remember attending BTU Bagan Transformasi University, the briefing on this. All right. The latest one. Number 3 is now related to number 4. Many of you are just catching up with 1 and 2 and a little bit of 3. But now number 3 must relate to number 4. What is that? You have to do a research that has got collaboration with either the industry or the community, all right, or the society, all right. So that is the 4th one. All right. Okay. Now, quadrants 1 to 3, they are related. I think many of us don't have problem with that. All right. Okay. This is how I am going to base my talk on. I'm going to share with you step by step. Maybe some of you can follow if you have not started. If you have, maybe you can identify which stage you are at. All right. Okay. So in 2019, I wrote an article in for Terra, all right, and I call it, all right, RPI cycle. This has been copyright, All right, RPR cycle means research, publication, innovation cycle. It's a cycle actually. Some of you will wonder why it's a cycle. I will show one true example of what I mean by cycle. I completed the cycle. I hope to do more, but I'm not too sure. All right, I'll show you one round, one set of cycle afterward. Okay, the first one is classroom ideas. All right. Many of you do not realize that you have classroom ideas that is different from your friends, all right? Or something that is extra, something that your students actually look forward to. You didn't know, and many people don't do it that way. You could be teaching the same courses, you could be teaching the same subject, but being in your class would be different because you do something different than other people. That could be your innovation. So think of classroom idea, make it special. All right, then after that, you have to do a research write-up. Publication is a must. All right, then after that, you publish the paper. Then after that, when you publish the paper, you can actually copyright 2 things from that paper. I've done that, all right. 2 things from the paper, copyright. One is some of you have come out with good conceptual framework, maybe even theoretical framework. All right, okay, that's one. And then you can even, or some of you have come out with an instrument, survey, questionnaire that you know is a combination of a few research done by a few people. So it could be yours, and you have tested it. All right, that is valid and reliable. So you can copyright it. So actually, when you publish a paper, you can actually copyright 2 things from that paper. Actually. All right. So then the paper is published, you copyright. Then after that, you can participate in an innovative competition like our IDEX, all right, and all the other innovative competition, all right. So done. So that will be your creative method. So you're done with your creative method, all right. You have thought of something creative. You have published it in a journal. You have sent for IP, copyright, intellectual property. All right, you have already got copyright for maybe the survey, maybe the theoretical framework. Then that particular method of teaching, you go and attend competition. So it becomes an innovative, you participate in one innovative competition. So that will be one product. So that will be the first innovation cycle, not cycle, that will be the first product at number 6 there. You just finished one round, three quarter of the round there. Then after that, don't stop. All right. It could be interesting enough that somebody might want to know, how can I actually try out this particular lecturer's method in class? So you might want to write a simple book. All right, I did this. Write a simple book of I call it the how-to book. So you might want to write a simple how-to book. All right, okay, how to do this, how to teach this, how to book, and then after that, that particular book itself become the second product. So you can take part in another competition. So it becomes a circle. It goes round and round. Then you can try out the product, you can try out a book, and then you can see that something doesn't work and something works. So it becomes a cycle. All right. And action research is a cycle. In fact, when we go to the classroom, we are always practicing this. We're always doing this, we act on a method. All right, then we observe our students participating in the activity that we have planned. All right, we observe the students engaging in the whatever things that we have planned, and we reflect. Reflect that could also mean that you can ask the students, ask them an open-ended question, give them a survey whether they like the method or not. Right. Then after that, you make plans. All right, you make plans to improve on the teaching. Okay, in this case, you make plans to write about it. So, action research itself, whatever that we do in class, I sometimes would like to use the word research in action. So, classroom is where we have our research in action. All right? How to begin? All right. Like that cartoon there. Okay, think. All right. Observe a method of teaching that you have done that you will do in your class, all right? I'm sure many of you have thought of something interesting in your class, all right? Reflect on how the students felt about the method. Maybe you have not come familiar with the survey. You can just ask open-ended question because you genuinely want to know what the students feel about this particular method, right? All right. Then you watch and see how they like it. Then maybe you make improvement. So now you plan this method. All right. So now this method can be an innovation in your classroom. All right. And you act on the innovation. I'll give you step by step afterward. So why do we call action research? Number one, a consideration of the action. That is a reflection. We plan, then we reflect. What do we feel about teaching it? Do we feel that we need to improve on it? What do the students feel about learning it the way we have planned? All right, we observe the students and we make improvement. That's action research. Okay, and it's researchable. All right. Implementation of an action or improvement to individual practice, the use of data collection on the action, all right? The use of data definitely can be used for your publication. A review of the action through consideration of the data. It can be qualitative, your open-ended question, can be interview, it can be observation, it can be your narrative inquiry, watching them, observation notes, all right? Or it can just be a survey. How? Right. So I call it research in action. You need to collect data. All right. What kind of data? Data analysis and also pedagogical improvement after data analysis. All right. I always tell my friends, our classroom is our research lab. For us in the social sciences, we don't have a lab. We don't have all those equipment in the lab. But we have our own lab. Okay, for social sciences, our classroom is our lab. All right. Okay, we get ideas there. We try out things there. Some things work, some things don't work. That is our lab. All right. Okay, before we continue, some tips before we continue. First of all, for those of you who find that research is very tiring and you don't have enough time to write research, you're bogged down with your work, all right? The bad news is that number one, you have to make reading journal articles your hobby. You have to learn to read them. I know, when I was doing my master's last time, I remember doing my first round of master's, I used to read journal articles as a bedtime story, but now no more, all right? Why? What do I mean by hobby? You're not going to just take any journal article and read, okay? Whenever you want to find out something, go and check, Google and see, make a habit of Googling past studies on. I like to do that when I think of something, and after that I say, okay, got anybody who's done this research or not? So quickly I will type past studies on, research on. So make it a habit of reading. All right. Adopt an attitude. Number two, read on to move on. All right. I normally tell my students, don't be quick to ask. Don't be so quick to open your mouth and ask questions. All right. When you have new ideas that enters your mind, no matter how busy you are, read on past studies first. Read first. When you're unsure of something, read first before you're tempted to ask. Sometimes I'm sure all of us are teachers, are like lecturers, right? Sometimes students ask questions, and in that question is the answer. You sometimes I laugh, sometimes we smile and realize that the student is asking a question with his own answer in it. All right. So yes, whenever you are unsure about something, read first. All right, because sometimes the answer is from the reading, but sometimes the answer is from reflections. All right, reflections at the traffic light when you're driving and suddenly you say, okay, it could be reflections. All right. Change negative thoughts of, you say that some people are freer, more free than others. All right, they have more time than others. Don't do that. Dia boleh lah, dia tak sibuk. I'm too busy with. Stop that. All right, to start to think of research into, I want to be a scholar. Scholarship is not biasiswa. Scholar. You want to be a scholar by doing research and publications and not just teach in a university. Change negative thoughts and say some areas are research. Don't say some areas of research are easier. All right. All areas have difficult areas of research, and all areas have less difficult. I won't say easy. All right. That your area that they have some areas. All right. All right. Let's start. Ideas from the classroom for research writing. All right. Some things to ask yourself before you begin. All right. Maybe even as you're listening to me talking very fast now. All right. You can even ask yourself, What do students feel about one method of teaching that you tried out that semester? You realize that one day, for one semester, or maybe after 1 or 2 months of teaching a particular course, you realize that, hey, last week's class went on well, but this particular didn't go on well. Or if you teach more than one class of the same code, all right, you realize that just now with that class, the first class was okay. And when I went to the afternoon class, it didn't quite work. All right. Yes. So think of a method that you've tried out. Okay. What you feel about how students view something, that also can be a research. How something has influenced your teaching. Sometimes our teaching is influenced by many factors. People doing TESOL, teaching English as a second language, you have got methodology, you have educational psychology. We are influenced by many factors in the learning, even in the classroom, even in my mind, right? How something has influenced your students' learning, and many more examples, all right? Got a surprise for you. Another tip, all right? Now, as qualified teachers, we are all teachers. Okay lah, we are lecturers, we are instructors, all right? Whatever you want to call yourself, all right? As qualified teachers, please develop a love for theories. At least educational theories. At least learning theories. All right? If you remember, pernah aku belajar tapi di mana? If you remember learning it before, maybe it's time to rewind and go open up your books, all right? Develop a love for theory so you can explain why certain things work in the classroom, why certain things don't work in the classroom. It is an added point. Afterward, God. Fall in love with some theories. I've fallen in love with quite a few number of theories. Afterward, I'll tell you what they are. Whenever you observe something to research, all right, okay, you search again, something researchable, try to link to your informed knowledge on theory. You must know something first. So therefore, when you look at something, you want to analyze something, you already have theories in your mind that say, this one looks like this one. This one doesn't work because the theory said this. All right? Jom. Some of you may not like the next 7 or 8 slides, but jom take a long walk. Don't take a short walk through memory lane on learning theories. Some of you will say, ya, pernah belajar dulu lah, tapi tak ingat. So I'm going to revise. All right, learning theories. All right, they say, not me. Experts say, there are 3 ways people learn. All right, one is behaviorism, changes in what students do, behavior. Second is cognitive constructivism, changes in the way they think. All right, the other one is my favorite. Social constructivism, assisted performance, all right? We change, we become better of the society, of the environment around us. So 3 things, 3 ways people learn. One is behaviorism, perubahan in the behavior. One is the thinking, and the one is the society. Remember this in your undergraduate days? Okay, let's look at an overview. You can have a copy of this afterward. I've already given a copy to Prof. Already. You can have a copy of the slides afterward. All right. For some of you, for behaviorism, for those behaviorists, they view knowledge is a repertoire of behavioral responses. That means there is an stimuli. All right. You give from stimuli, the students will give response. You give them something, they give something back. All right. You tell them you are late. Therefore, lock the door, don't let them come in when you're late. You lock the door. So the stimuli is, I lock you out. All right. So what's the response? All right. Okay. I've done that before. All right. Okay. And then view of knowledge for behavior. View of learning for behaviorism is passive absorption of knowledge. View of motivation for behaviorism is actually extrinsic. Okay, if I give you this, if I give you stars, you will get this. If you do this, you get stars. Implication for teaching, correct the behavior, right? Okay, cognitive, the brain, all right? Knowledge constructed by the learners. You give them activities, and they will come out with their own thinking from the activities. The view of learning is that they assimilate all right, then they join and they accommodate, okay, memberi ruang of new information to what they already know. They campur the old one and the new one so they understand it better. Intrinsic, all right, this one is insight. They want to do it, and the teacher helps with the learning. Last one is social constructivism. I love this. This is what we do for class group work. Okay, many of us know. I think our assignments, we also encourage, besides pair work or individual assignment, we encourage group work. Group work is under the theory of social constructivism. Knowledge is constructed with social context, through interactions, all right? Students learn more, maybe better, through interactions with the community, all right? Integration of students with a knowledge community, they collaborate. All right, so the view of the learning is intrinsic and extrinsic in group work, all right, and it's facilitated by the teacher and also the group work, all right. So enough down your memory lane for all the learning theories. Okay, behaviorism is divided into two. We have behaviorism is a very good area for research. It's to do with classroom management, classical conditioning and operant conditioning. All right, on the right side of the screen, I show you some suggested topic for research. All right, 3 stages of classical conditioning. All right, you can do a simple action research on how were the students before they learn your method, what happens when they were learning your method, and what happens after they have learned your method. So this is actually classical conditioning. So what are some of the suggested topic that you can do as a lecturer? Think of a created method of teaching, creative. Think of something creative. Prepare a survey, okay? Open-ended question also can, all right? Of what learners gain from the method. Give the survey or open-ended before the semester begins. This is like our entrance and exit survey. But this has got to be more focused on the content, all right? It's your research, it's your data, okay? So think of it, teach the creative method throughout the semester, and at the end of it, you get the responses from your students. There you have one action research in your classroom, and the data can be used for your publication. All right, next one. Operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is just not classical. Now we have another example. We have operant conditioning is based on reinforcement, punishment, and shaping. All right, we have positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. What are some of the suggested research topics? All right, yes. When I was teaching at Faculty of Education, I had fun observing practicum teachers teaching in the classroom. All right, yes, you can do a research on questioning techniques by practicum teachers. That is one operant conditioning theory there. All right, then you can also do questioning techniques. Maybe you can look at questioning techniques by sciences teachers versus non-sciences teachers. So another few topics there that you might want to think about. Fikir-fikirkanlah. Okay, how about cognitive constructivism? All right, so when I was doing my degree, I was joking. Piaget's theory of equilibration, all right, talks about assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation is people transfer incoming information so that it fits within the existing thinking, the transfer. All right, okay, masuk saja. And then accommodation is people adapt their thinking to the incoming. Definitely a very good area for research. There you are. How can you do it? Suggested research there. How learners adapt in group interaction. One research there. How learners behave in group interaction, discussion. How learners adapt to ODL. Very popular now. All the research, a lot of research now. ODL. How learners adapt, and another one, how teachers adapt. That one is by assimilation and accommodation theory. Very simple and very interesting research to look at. ODL. Okay. Next one. Social constructivism by Bruner. Where's my Vygotsky? Vygotsky also said this. Theory of instruction in social constructivism is learners have a predisposition to learning. sebenarnya all our students who come to class, they are interested to learn. It's up to us to make them interested. They have this predisposition to learn, and unless they run out of the class, they see your face, they run, then okay, that's a different story. But yeah, they have a predisposition towards learning. How to make them have positive experience, up to us. All right, ways of body of language structure so that it is easier. We need to have theory so that the learners can easily understand. All right, I like actually teachers who actually make difficult things look easy rather than make easy things look difficult. All right, effective sequence of presenting materials and nature of punishment and pacing of rewards. Okay, some of the interesting classroom research that you can actually do here is under the social constructivism theory is creative method of teaching a difficult topic in the course. Maybe some of you, some of you have already done it before. You already have a creative method of teaching a difficult course in the classroom. Come on, write about it, publish it, get your data and share. Now kalau you publish, it becomes the world, kan? Share with the world what you found out. Then we can even try in our class. We can replicate your research, all right? Or the influence of a teaching method in learning something, right? This one, my favorite name, Vygotsky, because my mouth terbelit-belit. Social Constructivism by Vygotsky. Okay, social constructivism is, all right, Vygotsky believes that a learner can achieve sikit kalau dia alone compared to dia buat beramai-ramai. So the difference between what they can achieve seorang besar compared to the difference that they can achieve as a group. So that difference is called the zone of proximal development, ZPD. Alright, okay? So social constructivism say that in a group, kalau boleh, kita ada seorang atau lebih, we mix, okay? Kita ada dalam group, kita ada more knowledgeable other, alright? And then the rest will learn, alright? Suggested research topic, how group work has helps in students learning. Yes, lots of research on it, lots of extra models on it. People have a lot of models on it. You can try the models in your classroom. Some of you have even tried it out. You can collect the data and write, okay? I'm sure many of you know that, a lot of group work works, all right? So you want to find out. Or now, how gadgets help in learning. Because I sometimes feel that gadgets actually lessen the ZPD, all right? Students are able to understand better. Some students, many students, especially the millennials, they're able to understand better with the gadgets, all right? So that itself can be the ZPD. Or again, the popular topic now, how ODL helps learners learn. All right, okay, let me give an example how you can go about doing. Some of you are saying, okay, I know the theories, I understand the theories, but macam mana nak start? All right, okay, I give you one example, all right? I did a research in 2019 on, what theory was it just now? Assimilation and accommodation, Piaget, all right? And I look at the dynamics of class discussion, all right? So on the left side there, the template for example 1, all right, what's the stage? Read up on theories. Read up on theories that have worked on group discussion. Read up on what have worked on group discussion. I found, when I was reading up on group discussion, I found assimilation and accommodation theory by Piaget. So you read up on your method of teaching. All right, then after that, you plan the teaching outcome based on your learning theories. All right, then after that, I prepare a questionnaire. You can also do structured interview, but you got to get your keywords right, okay? Of course, the section will be demographic profile. Then section B will be one learning theory that supports your title. Then section C, one learning theory that supports another learning theory that supports the title. And then section D will be one factor in the class discussion. And then another factor. And look what I have done with my own template. What I did was that my section A is demographic profile. So section B, I look at the theory. I look at one theory. Assimilation is a theory by Piaget. And section C, I look at accommodation theory in class discussion by Piaget. And then I look at one factor in the class discussion, agreement. You look at some of the models for agreement in class discussion. There's very, very nice explanation for models for agreement and disagreement, actually. So they became my instrument, all right? So I carry it out and I write a paper and I publish it, all right? So that's one research in the classroom. All right, example. Macam mana 1 jadi 3? Tak apa. All right, example 3, conflict resolution. All right, last year, as I was looking at some of the class discussion groups that we had, I started reading up and I found that when you are in group, students normally have conflict. All right, yang perempuan jeleng-jeleng, masa-masa muka, you get angry with your friend. Those are the conflicts that your group members feel, right? So I became curious, all right? So I started reading up some of the theories and I found that there are conflict resolution strategies. So I wrote a paper on it, all right? So I read on the theories, all right? So what did I do? Section B, I write one teaching method, class discussion, all right? Then after that, I look at first characteristic of the conflict resolution strategy, very mouthful. Then look at the second characteristic, third, and the fourth. Okay, what are they? So after that, what I did was that, all right, so section B, I came up with items in the questionnaire that looks at perception of the student towards class discussion. What do they think? But these questions, I got it from past research. All right, previous researchers have done a lot of perception of students on class discussion. Then after that, section C, D, and E, and F are actually the characteristics of the conflict resolution strategies, and I included that in, and it became part of my instrument. And with that, when the students answered it, I analyzed it using SPSS, and then after that, the paper comes out like this. All right. Okay, 3 and then 2 terbalik . Okay, never mind. All right, next one is second example. This is my favorite, all right? Teaching writing, all right? All right, scaffolding, color codes, and selective attention writing approach method. SAW approach in ESL academic writing. All right, so I read up, okay? So I've always taught academic writing using color codes. You know, I say, okay, topic sentence, black color. And then topic sentence with controlling ideas. One controlling idea will be blue, the other controlling will be red. So I've always been doing it. Then I realized, why did I write about it? So then I started to read theories about it first. Alamak, scaffolding salah spelling. SCA, sorry, SCA. Right, okay? So I started reading about it. So section B, I write some questions about writing skill. There are 3 stages of the writing skill: planning, writing, and evaluation and revision. All right. So I wrote, what do the students think about those stages? And I even asked questions about the selective color. Selective attention means they pay attention to the color. Selective attention approach. All right. Then after that, I look at the first characteristics of the approach, which is the color codes. Second characteristics of my approach, which is modeling. All right. Third characteristics of the color code, which is graphic organizers. And I also look at fourth characteristics of the SAW approach, which is scaffolding by Bruner. Right. So there you are. I asked the questions. I asked the questions in the survey. After I teach the color coding method for 1 semester, I asked the question in the survey, then they answered it and analyze it. And then after that, then I wrote it. I wrote in a journal. Okay, next one. Some of you can even try this, all right? While teaching postgraduate students, I realized that there are a mixture of postgraduate students. Some students come in the class every day very motivated from the first until the end of the semester. Some students, sometimes okay, sometimes no, sometimes very motivated, sometimes not. Some students come in the class like they're being forced to come. Then I started thinking, maybe I can write a research about that. And I did exactly that. All right. So what I did, I started reading again. So I read past research. Okay. I like doing that. research on motivation postgraduate. I do that. And I found theories by I can't pronounce it, and Dacey, and self-determination theory by Northouse. All right. So I came out with this. All right. So I came out with some demotivating factors, retaining factors, staying, and also what pushes them to even start the postgraduate studies. And I collected the data and analyzed, and I wrote one paper. All right. So that's one suggested title as well. All right. Okay. So those are some titles in general. All right. Let's look at one example. Okay. All right. Now I am going to show you a step-by-step example from RPI cycle. All right. From number one to number 3 first. All right. From number 1 to number 3 first. Okay. Number 1, classroom ideas. All right. How it all started in my case when I was teaching at education last time. My favorite is TSL 592, methodology of teaching writing. I'm sure some of my ex-students are watching me. Writing is my favorite. All right. And I also love teaching college writing 1 and 2. All right. And at that time, when I was teaching methodology teaching writing, I always tell my students, how can you go out to schools and teach writing if you yourself cannot write a good essay? You're very good at teaching essay, but then can you write one? So I make sure that my students can write good essay before they teach, all right? And then after that, I also love teaching college writing. But the most difficult part of teaching essay writing, plus papers, academic writing, is background of study, statement of problem, literature review, and thesis statement, topic, sentences, and controlling idea. All right. So I remember when I was doing TSL 592, I started using movies. So I used movies. All right. So at that time, I came out with an idea where I sent my students out to watch a movie. I love this part where on the first day of class for my TSL 592, and the first day of class, after telling them, okay, assignment, how many percent, test, how many percent, and suddenly I said, okay, presentation of assignment breakdown is done. I'm going to leave you with homework. I love this line. Okay, I think some of my ex-students watching this, they will remember this. I love this line. Okay, first day got homework. First week of lesson got homework. So everybody was like so shocked. What's the homework? The homework is to watch a movie. All right. Because why? Because I want to teach them how to write the essay. Watch a movie. All right. I remember my degree students watching a movie for homework. All right. Then, so then after that, I will teach them how to write thesis statement, topic, sentences using movies. All right. I remember my past students, even until today, when I meet my ex-students outside during the non-COVID days, I will ask them, what movie? Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, Finding Nemo. All right. All my students, they recognize themselves by the movies that we use in TSL 592 and college writing, because that's what I do. I use movies. Then after that, in my teaching, not only do I use the movie, which I think is creative, then I have a template. All right. The template has color codes. A template, and I have a diamond template. So what do? I conduct a research. All right. I prepared myself for data collection. All right. And then I wrote a paper on. Okay. So I prepare myself to write. So you see now, using the movie is creative. The diamond shape is creative, but it's not enough. So some of you have creative techniques, but again, tak cukup. You need to read up on your theories. You know, be a well-informed researcher, a well-informed teacher. All right, a well-informed instructor. So okay, creative techniques tak cukup. Go and read up on the theories. Go and revise. Get a book. Read up on the internet. Okay, backup. I need to back up. So I asked myself, what are the benefits? Why is this technique? Why do the students like the technique? Is it just because they got to watch a movie? Why are the activities successful? I asked myself all these questions. Then I started coming up with my own framework. All right, then I realized that they like the diamond shape. So that is actually the scaffolding theory by Bruner. All right. They like the authenticity of the use of the movies. All right, there's another theory there. Graphic organizers is by Bruner. Model for imitation again by Bruner. And the real social issues. Then this framework itself become the root for my survey. All right. So authentic, so I come up with the research question. I came up with how can teaching be authentic? How can scaffolding be used in the writing class? All right. Then I came up with the survey questions, and the survey questions have the categories of the theories. Just now, what was the theory? Scaffolding, I had graphic organizers, I had models. Authenticity, I had real social issues. And I read up past research, I came up with statements suitable for the survey. Okay? So I started my writing up. Yeah, some of you, this is the killing part. This is the killing part. You write or don't write. Write or die. Write lah or. Alright? Okay? Right, this is the writing up part. Okay, the 5 chapters. 1.0, 2.0. Alright, you write, plan, action, observe, and reflect. Okay? So what has happened there? I have finished with that movie. I published a chapter in a book, a simple write-up. I published a chapter in a book. It's called, the title is Using Movies in the Writing Classroom. You can start one. If you don't have anybody to start a chapter in a book, you get a few people to write a book, and you ask your friends to give you the chapters, have a common theme, and do one chapter. So I submitted my movie. First write-up is my chapter. That my movie went on further. I didn't stop there. Don't stop at your first publication. I went on to write again. I sent to CPLT, Journal of Creative Practices, this time, just now was movie. Now I focus on the group work, Constructivism in the ESL writing. But this is still the movie. It became a journal article. So there I've covered the RPI cycle number 1, number 2, and number 3, right? All right. Then I didn't stop there. RPI cycle number 4, I sent for copyright, and I took part in innovative competition cycle number 5. All right. But this competition is the product of the movie only. This is only the movie, teaching movie. All right. Then when I finish, I got silver only. I think I didn't get silver or bronze. Okay. Right. Then I finished this. I didn't stop there. All right. Cycle got number 6 and 7, right? Okay. Then I wrote a book. I didn't keep quiet. Then I said, Allah, better write lah, because I think I would like to share with people how I managed to teach movies using my diamond approach. So I wrote a book. So RPI cycle got number 7. 6 not finished yet, all right? So now what happens to number 6, all right? The book is done. The book is published by UiTM Press. Ta-da, number 7. That book now, just now the competition of the method, for the method. Now this competition is now for the book, all right? Bronze, okay lah. So yeah, I took part in a competition, all right? Okay? All right, okay? So, recap, all right, okay? So what do we have to do in the very first place, all right? First of all of us, we all have a creative way of teaching. We all have a creative way of teaching, whether we realize it or not, all right? Okay, number 2, read theories that support what you do in the classroom. All right. And number 3, think of products from your research. All right. From my research, I came out with 2 products. One is the movie method that became one product for competition, and the other one is the book that became another competition. All right. Can we take a 5 minutes break from here, Prof. Teo, before I move on to the next part?
Yes.
Okay. 5 minutes, chop, 5 minutes, right?
Welcome back, Dr. Noor Hanim. Would you like to continue now?
Patut nobody answer. Can you all hear me? Because you all can't hear me.
Hear from you.
Patut I ask anybody can hear me or not. Rupanya people cannot hear me. I didn't put my guitar. So can you hear me?
Okay. Now.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Sorry. I'm
Yeah,
okay, can I?
yes. Another 1 hour.
Okay. Forgive a 57-year-old woman now. Okay, all right, okay. All right, okay, let's recap. All right, I've got a few more slides to go and I will answer questions after this. All right, let's recap. Action research is doable in the classroom. All right, all of us have things that we have done in the classroom that although we think is biasa-biasa, we think it's just normal things that we do every day in the class, but it's actually something interesting that maybe people don't know. All right, okay? So you might want to share it, but sharing it for us academicians, you have to share it in a proper way. All right, collect data, write a research paper on it. So share it in a proper way, write papers about it. And while you're at it, might as well take part in a competition. It's a creative way anyway, right? Okay. Anyway, for the young lecturers for Kenaikkan Pangkat, you have to have innovative, right? All right, okay. So think of a creative way. You have it. Maybe even if you've just taught your few years of teaching, there will be something new that you have done. All right. So look at the angle of what do you look at? One is the way you teach. So that itself can be looked at, the way you teach the course. All right. And the way other people teach it as well. All right. Or you can also look at how what do you think your students feel of this activity? What do you think your students feel about this activity? What do you think students? So the action research you can look at two angles. One is from the teacher's point of view, and the other one from also the student's point of view. And another angle that you must not forget also, the materials point of view. All right, the choice of the materials that you choose. That one is also researchable. All right, okay? And then don't stop there. Go revise all your theories that you've learned, all the learning theories. All right, okay. I'm also having another talk on action research at APB sometime this week. Then I will be talking about language teaching theories. You can join that as well. Today I talk about teaching theories in general. Go revise all your teaching theories. Okay, make sure that you are an informed researcher. You're not going to just collect data based on agak-agak, based on what you feel, what the student feel. All right, based on background, past research. You must also know some theories yourself. All right, which will strengthen your write up. Think of product, not minimum of product that come out from one action research. Minimum is one, the survey. Number two is the method of teaching. All right. And number three, some of you are very creative with your conceptual framework, with your theoretical framework. You mix and match this. You read up this one. You came up with a new theory. That itself is copyright. You can copyright that. All right. So for just one research paper, one journal paper, you can come up with 3 IP. I know all the faculties will have KPI, BTU to achieve for your IP. So that will be one paper. You can have at least 2 IP there. All right. Okay. So think of product from your research. All right. So as far as research is that. All right. Okay. Some brisk walk. I go in, day out. Okay. Which part of this particular paper is the best part? So, I have to read theories. I have to Google. All right. Yes, you have to go on. You have to read on. Sometimes in the midst of reading on, getting ideas for one paper, believe me, you get another idea for the next paper. All right. That's what happens to me when I get ideas for one paper to read up, to support it. I realize that, okay, I'm going to keep another one for my next one because that reading up gives me more ideas. All right. Okay. And you have to replace your excuses with effort. All right. You have to work. You have to read up. All right. You have to replace your laziness with determination. All right. Do it. Sometimes you don't know how to do survey. Go and learn from someone. All right. Okay. Or if you don't know, then you want to do open-ended. Okay, fine. You read up. At least the simplest way, if you don't know how to start, then you replicate. You start with replicating first. All right. At least you start on something rather than talking about it. All right. And everything will fall into place. You'll get used to it. All right. All right. Get rid of negative thoughts. We are all teachers. Come on. Fall in love with some theories. Have your favorite one. Mine's Vygotsky. Get your favorite theory. I'm sure you'll have one. All right. Go revise my slides afterward. Get one theory that you like. All right. Or some of the new ones, they also have theories for online learning now. All right. Okay. Assimilation and accommodation. But there are new theories on online learning. Yeah, good read up. All right. And don't forget to share your creative techniques with the world. Now it's so easy to reach out to the world because you have your digital footprint. You pub your publication and people will read your papers, right? Okay, and yes, you are sharing it. You may think it's something small, but actually somebody will read it and somebody will just say it's a good idea. All right, okay? Got one more. I have something to share. All right. This year, no, I think from last year, all faculties have, we have KPI. A KPI that says that you have to do a research. My battery is low. Okay, the KPI that says that you are encouraged to do a research collaboration. All right. I think some of you who are in the management team know what I'm talking about. Okay, you're not only encouraged to write research. That's your KPI. But to help your faculty, you have to write a research and the authors must be from either a person from outside your faculty, outside the university, outside of your country, or in the industry or in the community. So I have a team, I have my friends. We're coming out with something that you might want to join. All right, RISE. Research in Industry and Community Engagement. It's free. All right, let me explain to you. This is your chance to submit, to write something simple. All right, the theme is University Engagement, Lifelong Learning, Entrepreneurship, Innovation in Education, Commercialization and Society and Community Engagement. each participation, one paper, is only extended abstract, only between 4 to 8 pages maximum. Give us an abstract. One of the co-writer, you will be helping your faculty. All right. If one of your co-writer is from the industry, okay, I'm sure people in the management will know. This will give you points for your KPI. All right. One of your writer in industry, you publish a paper with industry as the author. There's an extra point there. All right. You record your presentation and we'll give you the template. All right. Now, if you don't know how to start, please get a small group of friends who are interested in conducting a small research for research in industry and community engagement. Contact me, email me, message me. I will conduct small group Google Meets to help you very closely. If you don't know how to start, you don't know how to start with the instrument, I can share with you, I can guide you. All right. I can share with you how to come up with the instrument, how to collect the data, how to analyze it, and also how to write up the simple extended abstract. No ideas? Okay, some suggestion. Work from home, very popular title these days. Work from home amidst post-COVID, what not to do. On-the-job training, perception of the learner. You have your practicum teachers, on-the-job training, the teachers, the employer's perspective. Then you have communication barriers, all right, verbal, non-verbal communication barriers at the workplace, oral presentation skills at the workplace, and you have so many more other titles, all right, okay? So I encourage you to join this one and to start if you haven't started on anything, you might want to join this one. Very simple, 8-page write-up. If you don't know how to start, please contact me. I will guide you step by step from title to instrument to write-up. And at the end of it, you will get even marks for your industry collaboration. My favorite saying by Toni Morrison. If there is a book you really want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, so do what? Then you go and write it. So these are some of my books, okay? They're only in purple. All right, okay? So these are the books I've written so far. I've already taken part in the competitions for all the books. Some I got award, some I don't get award, but creativity. All right, okay? Thank you for listening. That's my digital footprint there. I now open the floor for discussion, for questions and answers.
Dr. Hanim,
yes?
Congratulations for your achievement. You have written so many books, 3 books and 6 chapters in books. And so the publication and your mind full of theories.
Thank you.
And your talk also full of encouragement.
Yes. All right.
One positive comments in FB. I think she is your student.
What?
Noor Hanim, you know her?
Yes.
She said, I become a good writer because of your class, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Shazani.
I think we can also open a question, Q&A on the floor. Any questions from participants? From FB also can put in your comments or sharing.
Can I joke? Okay. While we are waiting for the questions to come in, then I have this joke about teaching in a class. Can I share a joke? All right. When you finish teaching and then everybody keeps quiet. Class, do you understand? Everybody keeps quiet, right? When everybody keeps quiet, there is a danger. There are 3 categories of students when everybody keeps quiet. Many of you are the first category. Everybody keeps quiet because everybody understands, no problem. So everybody got nothing to ask, they understand. Then the last category also very clear. Nobody dare to ask because they don't know anything. All right? Okay, you have one understand all, the other one, they don't understand anything. So everybody keep quiet. But the other quiet one is dangerous. Class, do you understand my class? There's this one group, they keep quiet. Why? The way they understand is not the way they're supposed to understand. They understand it the wrong way. So which one are you all?
Yes. We also have comments from FB.
Okay.
A very good comment from FB. We have a few. Okay. From, let me read, yeah.
Okay. Ni masih nak yes. Yes, Dr. hari ni.
From Leila Ismail, hello, could I see the slides on rice again? They want to see the slide on rice.
Okay, hang on.
And from Dilly Lau, very motivated talk and clear. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And from Zulkifli, ceramah semangat supaya pendengar faham. Tanya, Prof.
Terima kasih. Slides on rice. Right, okay. Hang on. So it's on the screen. Okay. Take a picture of this. Take a picture of it.
While waiting, maybe our participants can take a picture. Tani, maybe yes. I would like to share something, or maybe yes. This is my question also, because so enlighten our participants and myself.
Yes.
Actually, do you have any advice to our postgraduate students whether they can make this action research as a part of research method, where previously our students like to explore on case study? What's the difference between case study and action research?
Case study, perhaps the lecturer can plan in the very first place. Case study, what is the data? If the data, you can plan for the case study data to be qualitative data. All right. I think for postgraduate lecturers, this is what I do. All right. You can straight away encourage your postgraduate students to actually submit an assignment. The lecturers themselves must know the general template of a journal. All right. So that means, okay, the activity, the assignment is the case study. Fine. You ask them to do a case study. But the report of the case study, you prepare a template, a general template that is already a general template of a journal. So you ask them to write a report based on what is required in a journal, that the data perhaps will be qualitative, all right? Interview, the case study. You already plan that although it is a case study, you already have in your mind that at the end of it, the students will submit the assignment, and the case study is not written in the form of a case study. The case study is written in the form of a 1.0 until 5.0. It looks like a general write-up of a journal paper. So that's one. And number two, if you want to encourage case study, encourage students to write case study into papers, perhaps you will maybe focus the attention onto, okay, case study, focus on what will be the data. All right. So once you have data, it can be a research paper. All right. Can I stop sharing rice? Okay,
I think so. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So any more questions?
Maybe Dr. Hanim, can you share some instrument that you use? Is it possible for you to share some instrument that you use?
Instrument for the examples that I used just now, for example, one, number two, number three. If you're interested to replicate the research, I can share with you all the survey. Some of my surveys have already gotten copyright. So many of it I can share with you because I already applied for copyright. But if you want the survey, I welcome email and I can share with you the survey. All right. Okay. So I have a few surveys that I can share with you. Many of it has gone through a reliability test. All right. And the score is okay. So I can share the survey, but if you just email to me and tell me which instrument you want, then
okay.
I can share with you.
Dr. Hanim, there's one question. How long do you take to produce a paper? Because reading up past papers is time consuming too. There are just so many to read.
The truth or fabricated? Okay. All right. From the time I get an idea from scratch, okay, this is my flow when I get an idea. When the moment I get an idea to write a paper, the moment I get an idea from the paper, I quickly Google. That's my first stage. I don't talk. I quickly Google. Actually, that will be my silent period. I Google for past research. When I Google for past research, I get questionnaires. I get instruments. So that was my first stage. I get instruments first. All right. Then after that, I get literature review to back up the theories, to back up the instrument. Then after that, I prepare my instrument. Zaman sekarang senang semua on Google Form, right? So I prepare on it on Google Form. I collect the data, I analyze it, and then immediately I will straight away start writing it. Okay. The reading up and the preparing of the instrument that Google, that takes about 2 weeks on my part. The reading sahaja, collecting data, the type on the Google Form, itu 2 weeks. All right, then the writing up, but I like the analyzing data. I like, because I realize that lain daripada past research. Sama dengan past research. So that part actually takes about 3 weeks to 4 weeks. So I take about almost a month to finish one paper from scratch. All right, 1 month. But if I have a data that is analyzed, normally it takes me 2 weeks to finish one paper.
Yeah, we need time to read, right?
Yes, the reading very important.
Yeah. Dr. Hanim, there's another inputs and questions from our chat box. A very interesting speaker indeed. He makes theories very easily understood. Prof, can you share any good reading materials on learning theories that come with good examples that you suggested?
Good reading materials. Mine, all I found in Google actually. But what I can share with you is like this. Like for example, for today's talk, I only talk about learning theories in general, the behaviorism, the brain, the behavior, and the society. 3. All right, okay? Then for my talk in APB, I will be giving you more theories on language learning. So depending on what you want to do, you just Google the word teaching theories, classroom theories. You Google that word. The keyword is teaching and learning theories, classroom theories. And then if you are interested, language learning theories, which I will talk about later. You can also watch, see my talk also. That one is theories only for language learning theory. So there's a lot of theories, whichever that you want. All right. So what I do is that I can't find any example. All my PowerPoint slides are from my experiences actually. From this theory, I actually tried, I combine theories. Okay, for example, I combine, when people do group work, I will ask myself, this is a lot of reading up actually, what works in a group work? Why does a group work, why does it work so well? It must be interaction. Then you Google for interaction theory. But the thing is that you have to talk to yourself all the time lah. Then you Google. Okay, I don't have any particular materials. I normally Google for keywords. My tip to you is that Google for the keywords. Get the right keywords that you want and just Google it and you get all the theories there.
Yeah, this is the tips. Thank you, Hanim.
Okay.
There are also message saying thank you from, I think, your faculty members also.
Okay.
Mook and also Aiza Zohari saying that sharing Dr. Hanim have always enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you, Aiza and Dr. Mok. All right. Okay. Anything else?
Any other question from
Any other questions? I hope you enjoyed.
Just on.
Thank you, Dr. Hanim. I feel okay, good. I feel inspired. Please write. I welcome newcomers if you're interested to write something and you want to learn from scratch. To write how to come up with your own survey. Either you join the talk at APB or you can have your small groups and we can have small research clinic, Google Google Meet kind of thing, okay, but not one-to-one. I mean, we have this Google, but have a small group so I can teach more than one, and then this small group can come up with a paper after that.
Dr. Hanim, I have one question. How do you find your research culture in APB?
Frankly speaking, research culture is very difficult. Very difficult. Probably over maybe for the over the years, I think it has the percentage of people who's doing research has improved. I know it has, but I'm not worried about the people who have started doing. All right, okay, because at APB, I do groups of workshop. Actually, research part 1, part 2, part 3. We have this group of workshops even before COVID-19. So I think the people who actually do research in APB has increased, but I'm worried about the people who hasn't started, because I think 4 quadrants, we got to have the 3 quadrants. We have to stop telling ourselves that we are too busy to write. We just have to make time. We just have to make time. It's tough, but we got to make time. We cannot stop thinking. Your mind must always be thinking all the time. You must always have ideas, right? If you have always ideas, you will always have something to write.
So can I say that the tips to how to build the research culture is time and working in a team?
Yes, I would encourage working in a team. Actually, you only need one person to start the reminds me of a blotter paper. Sure. You only need one person to bring it out. So if you're at your Faculty of Education, if you have that one that will spark something, this person can start with one group, and that group now that has learned something can start another group. That you just start one and it will spark like that. But you need to have one that will do no matter what. I'm sure many of the people who are listening now, somebody is that, but they're keeping quiet. I think yes, you just start. All right. If you need a little bit of push, call me. I'll have some Google Meet and then I'll push. So somebody from education will start soon. All right. You need one to start. Actually, you can. Okay. No question sama.
I think no question from the chat box.
Okay.
It's just some appreciations from them. Thank you, Dr. Hanim. I feel inspired. Yes, please guide me.
Yeah, I don't know who you are. Contact me. Send me email. I will guide you. Okay. I'll see you in a group. Yes, I will. Right.
Some more. I think we have question about
research makes easy. Yes, it's not difficult. It's doable. Somebody said research made easy by me. Research is not difficult. It's doable. It's a lot of work, but it's not difficult. Banyak kerja leceh, tapi tak susah.
Dr. Hanim, this one is from FB. Asking about do we have to fill in request forms to do extra research? The request form, I don't know what is request form. Maybe it's from Dr. Joseph Alagiarot.
Request form, no. Ethics form, no. I'm trying to guess what form you're talking about. No.
I think maybe it's ethics form. I think so.
HEAO. No. It's actually a classroom research, so you don't have to ask permission unless you are disturbing a group of people's privacy. Then you have to apply through the ethics. Or else, no. But if you're going to schools, you have to apply a different thing. That one, no. Okay.
As I know that we need any research that will involve participants from UiTM, we need to fill in. I think so.
Yes.
We better fill in.
Participants. And if you're doing a research with the school, that will be a different level altogether. You need to go to EPRD. You have to apply to the ministry there. So you cannot just do a research on school students. So that will be a different thing altogether. All right. I'm talking about this simple, social kind of survey. Then it's fine.
There's one more question. May I know how many students do I need to be in my sample for action research?
I normally for first timers, let me say you might want to call it a case study, a pilot study. You can start with just a class. Maybe I will always tell my FYP or my master's class, I'll say 30 would be the minimum number if you want to start. You can start analyzing easier also with 30. 30 would be a good number to start with. I mean, 10 is so sikit, unless it's open-ended question, unless it's an interview. But then, you want to do survey, I don't know, minimum, I think, some people might disagree with me, but at least minimum 30.
Yeah. Dr. Hanim, is it depend on the class, right? Because action research will involve all the participants in a class. It also depend on the number of students in the class, right?
Yes. If you're just looking at the mean score, then it's fine. The one whole class, actually the fun thing about action research is just one class. You don't even have to do an experiment with the other class, just that class. So I think for the class that we have, one class is enough for an action research. All right. If you're not confident with survey, then I would suggest that you do open-ended question and you learn how to analyze the coding system qualitatively. Also fine. All right.
I would like to invite all the participants to answer feedback survey form and also attendance. They can take the attendance, the link provided. Participants from FB Live also, the links also provided. So we still have time. We have 30 minutes more. We have another 30 minutes. Any sharing or any question?
Any question? So you belong to, I understand. So that's why they don't have any question. Yeah. So really understand. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we learn a lot, especially in terms of creative method to produce triple or I think triple product.
Triple products from one
copyright and also innovative products. Okay, so just from one, I could say that one study. Right.
Tomorrow I'm giving a talk at APB online also on how to apply for IP copyright. So if you're interested, you can join. All right. Many of you don't know how to apply for. I'm interested to learn about movie. So you have to contact me personally. Somebody interested to learn about the movie method. All right. Copyright is another thing. I think many of you is such a waste. You look at some of the articles that you written maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. I think you can find something that you can apply for copyright. If not the survey, maybe even the conceptual framework. Yes, go. And some of you, your PhD. Look at your conceptual framework. Paling minimum, your PhD or your master's thesis, there could be a theoretical framework or a conceptual framework that is layak untuk di-copyrightkan. Go and look at it. You don't know, you email to me, I will guide you.
So how to get a link to your talk, Dr. Hanim, or tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I will give you the link. I think Dr. Mok is in charge of it. The poster is already out. I think I will share with, the poster is already out. I will give you the link later. I don't know how to give the link here one.
Never mind. Later,
I will give you the link.
I can share with our faculty members.
Yes, all right. Okay, so that will be your IP. So I think minimum everybody has at least one IP that you have not applied for. Go and look at your thesis. At least satu mesti ada. That framework mesti special punya. Tanpa survey dia pun boleh apply and you tak pernah terfikir. Alright, there are things that you have to have when you apply. That's when I can explain to you. Okay?
Okay. Can I have the
Recording of the webinar?
Webinar will be provided in FB, faculty FB.
Oh, okay, good. Somebody will contact me. She's got something in mind. I will help you, Dr. Rosilo. So it will be downloaded in 3 days. Okay.
All positive feedback.
Yes.
Good
yes.
feedback.
All right. Okay. Good. Thank you. I hope people actually, you say you want to contact me. I hope you'll contact me after this. I would really love to help. All right. I would really love to help you maybe from your title to your, I really would like to help you from your title to your instrument and to your paper. Yeah. You're welcome. Yes, yes, Rin, Dr. Harini. Yes. Writing. I love to talk about writing. I love to write and I love to talk about writing. I look at some of the comments. Yep. Yes, other research. Oh, you're welcome, Nadia. Other research. Okay, yes, I have. I can share some of the research that I have written.
Dr. Hanim, maybe you can share some. You have 4 grants. Maybe you can share any grants that you managed to.
Oh, my favorite grant. Okay, the which one? Okay, the first one that I ever got was from the Faculty of Education last time. I got the grant. I don't know what it was called. I actually went to school. That's why it takes about 6 months to get kelulusan untuk masuk sekolah. All right. So I came from a primary school teacher. I started teaching way back in the 1980s. Some of you were not even born. In the 1980s, teaching in a primary school. So when I had this particular chance to do a research at the education faculty, I did a research on one method of teaching reading, and I did it in a primary school. All right, then it's called a whole language approach. All right, then I go to schools and I try out this particular method, and after that I wrote articles about it. So that's one. All right, and another grant that internal grant that I got a few years back. I'm actually doing a Think a Lot protocol. Protocol of a writing. I actually make writers write, and they're talkative like me. When you write, you talk. What point to write? So that is called Think a Lot protocol. So I'm doing a research on that. And when you get people to write what they think while they write, you know what their problems of writing are, and you know what they are afraid of. So that's the latest research that I'm doing right now with grant. But most of my research are actually without grant, because I like to write a research that will last me for about 1 or 2 months, and then I quickly submit as for journal publication.
So, Dr. Hanim, most of your research papers were written without grants, right?
Yes, mostly were written without grants. I rarely get grants. All right, but if I do get grants, they're very long process. But most of my research, they are just without grants. Okay, last year I managed to publish index and non-index. Last year was 26 articles.
Wow, congratulations.
So I get lots of ideas actually, and sometimes when I get a lot of ideas, I drive and I like to play around with theories. Like for example, my conflict resolution theory. That's a theory. And then I wrote a paper on problem with rhetorical problem in writing. So I like to read a lot of theories. When I come up with a new theory, I will keep on going. I will keep on going until I end up with an instrument, and I will test that, and I will write a paper. So I like to play around with theories. That's when I write my papers. Sometimes if you read some of my papers, they're very simple, all right. But I purposely put theories inside it to make it look like that.
Just want to check about any problems with the link to the feedback survey and also attendance. Is it okay for to all the participants?
All participants quiet, never talk one, so we don't know. All the links okay or not? Yes, somebody answered yes.
Yeah. So any other sharing?
Yeah, everything okay. Everything okay. Thank you, Noraida. Thank you, Ira Shakira.
Okay, last word. Dr. Lim, maybe you can share with us keywords to make us move towards writing and also research.
Okay. My classic tip is this. Get something, focus on an area that you like. All right. All of us have an area that we cannot say no to. I can never say no to writing, research on writing. What is yours? Get an area that you go ooh and ah over. Get an area that you don't sleep when you read journal articles. Get that first in you. I'm sure you have. At least maybe your master's thesis or your PhD. Get an area that you like. Okay, that's one. Number two, with the area that you like, no matter what course you are teaching, it doesn't matter. Like for example, in my case, with my area of writing, whatever course that I'm teaching, diploma, degree, masters, I will always have research on writing to do on. So I don't know what your example is. You have to find your nak kata niche, your favorite area, something that you know some theories about. That should be your PhD area. Then from then on, in every course that you teach, for any level, diploma, degree, masters, you can actually come out with a paper with, in my case, for diploma students, I can come out with a paper on diploma writing. I can come out with a paper on undergraduates writing. I can come out with a postgraduate paper on postgraduate writing. Get your niche area. All right, that's number one. And number two, doing a research is like doing an essay. An essay is like a question. Okay? Some of you, your title of your research terlalu jalan-jalan sangat. I don't even know what you want to say. Gah sangat. Terlalu so many bombastic word that I don't even know what is the question. All titles are like a question. And the keywords are the answers to your thesis. So get a nice title. Ask yourself, what do I want to know? What is the latest research? What are some of the writing What are some of the writing problems that people face? What are some of the writing problems that diploma students face? What are some of the writing problems that postgraduate students face? What are the problems that make them from stop writing? What are problems that make them not write so much? I have a lot of things in my area. So get your problems in your area, and that is a good start. Start with the problem, and then from there you get the keywords. The keywords will be your pebbles, your stepping stone towards looking for the theories. So always key in studies in your area, theories in your area. You'll get something. All right, okay. So what else? Another tip. That one is get a title. Number two, once you start on an idea, please don't stop until, okay, you know when you should stop. When you already type the questionnaire on the Google form, then you stop. Please don't stop until you find your instrument, because sometimes good ideas dia memang besar, very good ideas. Tapi nanti you get so busy. You get so busy getting angry at your students lah. Okay, you get so busy that you forget your idea. So then don't let your idea stop. Let the idea play in your mind for about 1 or 2 weeks sampai jumpa instrument, sampai you dah tahu apa you nak buat dengan instrument, then you can stop there because that's your rest and that's when you can start planning what you want to write after that. So that will be my tip. Don't stop from readers. Okay?
Yes.
Any more comments? Or got comments some more?
Participants are so quiet.
So done. I think we can end already.
Because they say everything is okay.
All right, have listened to your sharing. Yes, Ani Mazlina, thank you for listening.
Just now, our TD PJI, Dr. Muhammad Kharizan with us. I think he has a meeting.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you, Dr. Kharizan. You tell him thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me, Prof.
yeah.
You're welcome, Betty.
So, is it okay to all the participants?
Okay. All right. Contact me via email if you have if you want extra help, any guidance, I'm open to that. We can have a small group Google Meet session if you want. All right.
So lastly, I'm person in charge. I represent our dean and all the deputy deans and also faculty members to thank Associate Professor Dr. Noor Hanim Rahmat together with us and provide us a lot of inputs and especially about how to go about the theories and how to produce a creative product. We really appreciate and we look forward to join more sessions. I think Dr. Nim tomorrow have another session.
Yes, IP.
Yeah, we hope that we can join. We look forward.
All right.
And thanks a lot to participants and we look forward and see you again.
Yes. Yes, my loud voice. Yes, Dr. Rosilawati. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, for being very patient with me, with my loud voice. My loud voice never changed. All right. Thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Teo. All right. So, see you around. Hopefully, some people will contact me and I'm happy to help you. Bye, Prof. PM Dr. Nabila as well. Also, I saw her name there. Okay. Bye. I sign off now. All right.
Okay. Bye. Bye. See you. Thank
Bye.
you.
See you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hanim. See you.